we are trying to use 4 different detector to do simultaneously high resolution STEM imaging. We're gonna do comparison between 4 different detectors to see how the camera lens affect their different image context. So let's first start the view. Here we tilt the sample to the zoom axis, right? But take a look at the long kilogram, and also take a look at the frequency pattern. We're gonna center the frequency pattern, move the frequency pattern to the center of the rekigram by use alpha tilt and beta tilt. And we can confirm, this morning we also discussed a little bit how to confirm their orientation by using their essentially lab to focus diffraction this to kind of to spot to form a diffraction pattern. In this case, we can measure the ratio between diffraction spots, and then we can confirm their orientation. So, okay, right now we're looking at the Johnson and titanium sample, and let's insert different detector. So, because we already did the alignment for high resolution imaging, so the alignment is pretty close. We just insert the detector, and then also detector insert, we don't see the signal because all high detector is above the sample. We don't need to lift the screen to see the get signal to the high detector. But if we want to get a signal to the therefore 2 and the bright field, because this 3 detector is below the sample, we have to lift the screen. There are 2 ways to lift the screen. First, we can push R1 in the hand panel. Also, we can use the main screen icon within the detector layout here. You can just click, retract screen, click one more time to insert screen or retract the screen, so the beam can go through the sample and it goes into the detector. So here is the detector layout. You can clearly see the beam and also different detector, and also give you the collection angle of the different detector. So now we're seeing the image contrast here, the contrast negative. To make sure we're getting pure contrast in negative, we have to take a look there. We have to compare. We do kind of we look at the vacuum region to see if we get a black vacuum region. Yeah, the vacuum is black, meaning we get dark field imaging and contrast. So therefore, it's looking bright. So if you're gonna get a dark field contrast to the DF2, we probably need to lower the camera lens to 98 or less. Yeah, 98 is good enough. Okay, because we are seeing the black vacuum contrast. Okay, and then we can zoom in. Because we change the camera lens, we probably need to readjust focus a little bit. We just we can just simply use the focus lock to do focusing. But if you change the focus value too much, you may affect your crop size. So probably it's not good to do so. Then it's better to just using the Z to bring the contrast back, and then do the final focusing. Use the focus lock. Yeah, we got the good contrast. Okay, so we need to adjust the contrast in different detector. So how we do that? First, we bring the beam. Once being blanked, we adjust the offset, which is brightness, to the bottom line of the blue line. Make sure the green line match with the just a little bit above the blue line. So and then when unblended being adjusted again, which is contrast, to move the green line in between the red and the blue line, red and blue dot line. So, okay, this is how we adjust contrast of the imaging. Okay, then we can do our imaging. We can lower magnification a little bit. Okay, we probably don't want to do 4K imaging because it takes too much time. We're going to get 1K and 6 microsecond imaging. So now you can see different contrasts in different detector. I use different detector. So definitely in the HRF we see much better contrast because we can see the individual atom. In the bright field, you see their atom contrast is not that good. This is diffraction contrast. They have 2, they have 4, they have 4, it's good. You still see there. Probably we want to adjust the focus a little bit. You can adjust focus a little bit. So let's do focusing. Mainly we use the HRF to adjust focusing. Okay, once focus is done, can we take another image? We can use this DCFI for all 4 detector, but that's gonna take a lot of space. So if you don't crazy about the image resolution, probably just go for a single frame. That's gonna save time. But definitely we can try this FI. We can set up the FSI for all 4 detector. We can try 1K by 1K and probably 20 frame. And then later on, you can do frame integration for all 4 detector. So you see your you get a lot of scan noise to DF4 detector. So probably if we want to take a better DF4 image, we probably want to choose different cameras. Once it's done, you're in the process, you can do frame integration, process DCFI for each detector. So this is a bright field. We can do this bright field integration. So if you do side-by-side compassing, you will notice that the position pattern is different. This is because we simply look at different contrasts here. You see, it's a little bit different. So this is because we are looking at different contrasts. This is Z contrast in the HRF, different contrast, phase contrast in the bright field. So in the HRF, you will see this is the big atom is the junction atom, small atom is the titanium atom. So you're able to tell different size difference of the element with different component of the atom with different component or different elements. So, but here in the bright field, you see the atom size is same, which means we cannot tell the different component, different element. So that's because this is the phase contrast. It's not a ton number of contrasts. In a deep bright field, this is bright field. Let's take a look at the dark field. Dark field is already kind of in between them and a little bit noise. In order to take a better dark field image, we might want to choose different camera lens. Let's lower the camera lens a little further. So, because right now, if we keep lowering camera lens, we're gonna get a less signal to the DF, to the HRSTEM and DF for detector. So in order to get a better signal, probably we want to increase camera lens. Probably we can increase to this camera lens. Then we can probably get a better DF for contrast. When we change camera lens, because we have changed our projection system, we probably need to readjust the focus. So we probably need to lower the magnification a bit. Okay. Yeah. It's getting slow. Okay. Now you say this is your DF4 contrast. This is your bright field contrast. Now get a good bright field contrast here. You can start preview. Make sure your diffraction disk is on the center. By using diffraction alignment. This is important. And let's give the screen again. Take a look how image look like. So now you're getting better context. So we can do, let's just do one frame imaging. PCFI gonna take so much time. So we can do 10 microsecond. Let's do 5 chow by 5 chow. 10 microsecond. Okay. Right now magnification is a little bit high. Let's lower it to maybe, yeah, let's look here. 10 million. It's a magic number. And then we can take a look at the quality. Because this is a single frame. The image quality is the signal to noise ratio. It's not that good. Definitely can improve that by take a DCFI image like here. This is DCFI. After taking DCFI, you see there improves the contrast. So. And then you can further increase the camera lens to see the difference. Let's go for this number. Load the screen. Make sure the deflection disk is on the center by using the register deflection element. Okay. And then once it's done, we can just go to the application view. Leave the screen. Definitely need the focusing a bit more. So you see the difference in the. Can reset on. When you use the large camera lens, you get a more noise to your wide field, which is the same. So if you want to take good bright field imaging, you probably need to go a little bit lower camera lens. In this case, you get a less signal, less noise. But if you're going to take a good DF4, DF2 image, you're probably going to go with a little bit higher camera lens, at least 200. Because remember, yesterday we just because when you use the small camera lens, you probably get less signal goes into your dark field detector. So let's do scan again. Snack, it's to let's go 10 minute, just 10 minute magnification.
So each of the detectors shows something different, right?
Yes, you're right.
So like, what kind of information can we get from them? Because all the pictures don't look the same, right?
Yes. So this really depends on a sample. So let's take a look at data. So for example, this is the data. This is one for typical data, right? Let's go for this one. Again, for in your HRSTEM detector, you're getting pure 3 contracts. It depends on your camera lens. So you check your camera lens and you check the correction angle. If your correction angle is larger than slowly bin array for the HRSTEM, then probably you get a pure 3 contracts to your detector. In this case, so you will see a little bit different size of atoms. You see, this atom looks brighter, darker. Brighter atom means this atom has a large atom number. So this is Johnsonian titanium. If you look at the periodic table, so Johnsonian number is 38, titanium is 22. This means Johnsonian have large atom number compared to titanium. It should have large atom size compared to titanium in the HRSTEM contrast, in the Z contrast image, which is represented the atom number, right? So in a brighter field, you will tell atom size is similar. You can tell atom number is similar because this in the bright field you are getting diffraction contracts. You look at the FFT, it's mainly from diffraction contracts. So if you see something brighter, that means you have different phase. But if you see uniform contracts, that means they have same phase, right? Okay. Dark field 4 and dark field 2. This is not good. Let's take a look at this one. So it's kind of a mixture. You might see there. You might see there. For example, this one. It depends on your camera lens. You might see similar contracts as HRSTEM in your DF4. But if you choose different camera lens, you might see different contracts. It's kind of a mixture between Z contracts and the diffraction contracts. So if you take a look at the low magnification, if you take a look at the grain, so particles. So if you have a lot of particle, within the particle you have grains. So in a bright field detector, you can tell the different grain within the particle, right? Because they have different orientation. then they have different phase contrast, and they have different diffraction contrast. So you can tell the different all different orientation. But if this atom, they are just the same atom, they have same atom number, then in high field contrast, they might look similar because they have same atom number. You know what I'm saying? So, but the high field but if you have different particle, the two different particles have different component, meaning they have different atom number. You might see different contrasts between the particles. So, yeah, this is the case by case scenario. Yeah, but from an atomic scale, we can mainly tell the atom number different from pure Z contrast, and we can tell phase difference from the diffraction contrast. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's yeah, I know, because the especially when you have a lot of data, it's not just something looks beautiful, but you have to tell what that means to the user. Okay. So in order to get a better DF4 contrast, we can choose to the higher common length. And load screen, take a look at different, let's check the center depth, but it's on center. Oh, it's gone. In blank, hovering, yeah. That's sometimes you lose your beam. The better just use the view to get it back. You can use the view, lower the magnification, use diffraction element to bring it down. Because the image is more sensitive to the diffraction shift. Okay, I mean, when we are close, we get a lot of signal. Not sure. We deselect the resolution, so we get a more field of view. Huh? It's a little bit way off. Let's go for different cameras. Yeah. Just find the beam. There you go for smaller cameras to find their Merced back. Gradually increase the cameras. Good. Diffusion and then bend back. Okay, and then we should increase this camera, this diffusion and bend back. Go further. Goes 450. Diffusion on bend back. It's back, which is good. Okay, it's back. Then we can load the screen. We leave the screen. Look at the this context. And then you might want to do focusing. Increase the mag. This is way off, so probably need to use Z to bring across. Use Z to bring close, and then we can use the when you choose higher camera lens, it's hard to do atomic resolution imaging because basically for atomic resolution imaging, instead you basically require some you want to see the atom difference. So basically you require some Z contrast to form atomic resolution imaging. It's gonna be a little bit challenging to do alignment here. Back. See. So you only get a little bit of context to right here. So it's way off, so it's probably good to just go out of diffraction, take a look at your probe. We can deselect other detector and then load the screen. Take a look at the probe. You can do intensity focus. down. Again. And always use HRF. So I would say, so right now the camera is too large. It's hard to form anatomic resolution imaging. So in order to see that, probably you need a lower the cameras. So then you go to the edge, to do some focusing. Okay, and go back. Okay, so now because your camera lens is pretty large, it's hard to get the atomic resolution through HRF detector because you HRF it's hard for your HRF detector to receive the incoherent electron to form the contrast imaging, right? So basically you'll be find a hard time to get atomic resolution imaging by using a HRF detector. But the good thing is you might can still see it through bright field detector. So which is good, and you can just just take an image. So you say your HRF signal is pretty poor. You get a still decent DF2 signal for the and also bright field. So yeah, that's it. That's so if you're gonna using HRF detector for thermal imaging, do not go beyond 400 millimeter cam length. So I think typical the good number is for the Talos in 200.05. You can go behind that, you still can get a good D contrast. But if you go beyond 300 or 400, it's hard to collect the incoherent electron to your HRF detector. So then you lose the contrast. Okay, let's go back to 205. So we probably need a reset focus and go out of production. Burn diffusion element back. And also we can go out of diffusion, check the probe. Deselect. The probe is fine. Usually we don't check proper on a sample, we just move out of sample, but here just for the quick check, so just leave that there. Okay. Then we can use Z, burn sample close to the focus. This is close to focus. We can just do preview. Probably need to move a little bit. Somewhere around here. We might need to adjust astigmatism. Bring it back. So the quick way to do so, just load the fractal. Just set the new fractal. Because we see fractal, once we get lost, it's always good to bring it back. Just load the one fractal to save some time. And once we load the good fractal, the first thing to do is push your center focus to bring it back to the center focus. And then we can use the moisture sample, put it on a moisture region, and to check the nice focus level, check the astigmatism. You can switch to high contrast, give you a better view. Once it's close, you can go find the region of interest again. You can just simply just natural And then search the good region. This is a good region. I need to move this way. And this way off. This is a good region. Not too much. And we're back. So double check the frequency pattern to make sure we are doing this. Yeah, it's pretty much doing this. And do a little bit of fine tuning, the focus. And the astigmatism. Then we can take an image by DCFI. So I think pretty much we go through all of the most of the technique to take a high resolution STEM. So I think the most important thing, two casing. First, we need to do tilting to the sample to the axis. The second thing we need to do, we need to do fine tuning based on the ranking to tune their condensate and the focus. And if you still cannot get a good image, probably need to go out of production to take a probe to make sure you get a fine probe by using intensities, and also you need to correct any stick you might have that's caused elongation of your probe. Okay, it's the image we just took. Yeah, I can do this as well. And if you see this non-uniform contrast, you can use the high pass to make contrast look more uniform. Yeah, that's pretty much how we take high-res imaging. So, do you want to do a kind of a practice? So
I think it's good.
It's good. Okay.
Yeah, because I saw you do it a lot of times for the. The only thing is, can you show me how you center the Kikuchi pattern?
Center the Kikuchi pattern, right?
Yeah, to the center. Yeah.
Sure. I will tell you how to do so. So first thing, there's a couple ways. So because right now we only look at a single screen, right? it's better because I think for the Talos system, you might have multiple screen. So you can put the acquisition in one screen and your full cam in another screen. You can simultaneously look at the acquisition view and the full cam. So this will be much convenient to do tilting. So usually, typically way I do is use this smaller cameras, maybe 98. First change is small cameras, and then we probably need zoom out a little bit. Let's say just not tilt here, right? Let's say I want to move to different location and tilt the sample to the zoom axis. Let's go here. But first, let's save this page. At STO3. Okay, once we save the distribution, if it goes create something goes, if it goes to the wrong direction, we are getting lost, then we can always record the saved stage position. And okay, so now we switch to the go out of high resolution mode in full cam, and then you can use the central mouse, central view of mouse, the middle one.
Yeah.
And you can roll the central mouse to increase contracts, decrease contracts. And at some point, you will be able to see the crossover of your kick pitch pattern, right? So as we can tell here, this is your crossover of your kick pitch pattern. This is your kick pitch pattern, right? So then we can, because you say, let me do a little bit tilting, make sure it's way off. So here's your central disk, right? You can mark your central disk. Here's your central disk. Your central disk is here. And the center of your crossover of your kick pattern is here, right? So the target is to move the center of crossover to the center of your reticular, to the center of your disk. So the way to do so, because this is parallel right now, you move left and right, you just use alpha tilt. If you move up and down, use a beta tilt. So also you can judge how much tilting you want to do. Because when you tilt your sample is going to move a lot. You might lose your reasonably interest. So in order to save some time, because in that case you're going to go back to the view and find the region of interest and do the tilting again. You cannot. So to save some time, we can do some pre-judgment. We can say this is like property based on this magnification. This is property. You see this is median 50 million rate. This scale in the distance between the crossover to the center of this is probably about 30 million rate. Then you have some judge. So probably we need it right now. The alpha tilt is about 3.8 degree. Probably we want to do negative tilting about 2 degree. So we go to 1 degree, 1.4 degree. So because we needed to move the center of the kick pattern to the left, so we do negative tilting. And based on based on distance between them, we probably do 2 degree tilting. So this is based on our experience. So you can at the same time can watch. It's getting close, right? It's getting close. Now it's on the center. You see how the kick pattern move to the center. So this is for the alpha. For the alpha tilting, when you do alpha tilting, your sample is not going to move a lot. The staging is not going to move a lot. So this is good because you can see how you adjust because when you adjust that of tilting, you can also sometimes see the movement of your kick pattern. right? So, but if you do beta tilting, the sample is going to move a lot, especially if you do beta tilting on nanocrystal, nanoparticle, you might lose your region of interest. So in that case, you can go back, take a look there. If, for example, if it's like this, you lose regional interest. So in this case, we're probably going to go look at the view and go back to sample. Right? So what I'm trying to tell you, just when you look at how far from the center between how far the center of the crossover of your Kikuchi pattern to the center of disk, if you like just the 20 meter array, probably you need a 2 degree. If you have judgment, you will get a sense how much you need to tilt. We go back here. So here, you see, okay. Right now, it's about the crossover is here, the center of disk is here. It's about the 20 meter array, so probably you need to go tilt 2 degree. And now it's beta tilted 0.7, so probably go to negative 2.7. So you can just use beta tilt. It's good 2.7. You don't care, it's fine. You lose the sample, you lose the Kikuchi pattern, lose the live view, it's fine. You just keep going. Because you have some judgment, right? You know it's going to be close to be tilted to about 2 degree. That's about 2 degree, and then we can find a sample back. So from E, okay, and then you stop the view, move the beam to the region of interest. Take a look. Yeah, you say you tilted too much. Then probably gonna go back a little bit. Just go back like 1 degree. Go to -1. Oh, now it's close. And probably go a little bit negative. Yeah, go back a little bit. Okay, and then you need to refine your sample. So okay, we find a sample. Now it's pretty close, right? And then you can choose to go back to the image, the camera lens you use for image, which is 200.05, and then you can check the Kikuchi location of Kikuchi pattern. Yeah, location. This is the Kikuchi pattern, right? This is the crossover, and it's a little bit off, right? Because we know the better you move to the out of sample. Yeah, you know where is your center disk at. It's out of sample, and now you do mod. Yes, this is your center disk. Okay, it's your center disk, right? And then you can go to the sample. Stop the move. You can move the beam to see where it's close to the zoom axis. Like here, this is very close. Here's off. Here's close. Here close. Here's close. And then you can just move to the region but you also need to consider the sample thickness. right? You don't want to tilt the sample to don't be on very thick region. So, okay, this is close. You see, keep is here. Yeah, you can do a little bit of alpha tilting. Yeah. Okay. It's crossover here. You have to do beta tilting. Okay, when you do beta tilting, you can lose radio audiences. It's not down. Okay, then we go here. Now it's close. All right. Now you say you have you're centering. The center of the crossover, if we recognize, pretty close to the center of your central disk. All right. Then we can take a look. It's located here. And then we can move to that position. And select stop here. Somewhere around here. And then you can do fine adjustment, maybe somewhere around here. Because if your sample is not flat, you can, when you get close, you can look at the different location to see which location have it's perfect to the zone axis. Okay. You can get close here. So you know. Okay. To the center. Okay. Once you're close, you can do slow scan, and then can adjust your focus. Okay. If it's way off the the center height, you probably need to use the Z. Now you say it's about 1 micron off, so we can use Z. You can space bring the back. You can use. Then we go to at least 3 million. Now we are close. Then do adjustment. Can find adjustment your condenser. All right. And check different. Okay. Then we can take the image. Yeah. So, yeah. This is how we kill simultaneous. So once you're close, you may want to move to the same region. Same region. No, this is the region is same. So you may want to do a little bit up 13. Oh, it's moving. Okay. If you have sample that's not flat, it's gonna take time to tilt to the axis. But you can start from region like for this symbol, for example, let me draw out. So you see this sample has curtaining here. So this region is flat. You see this contrast is very uniform. And but this region it has curtaining. But this region is pretty thin. If you want to tilt this region to the tone axis, if you find a hard time to directly tilt this region to the tone axis, you may want to start from here. You can tilt this because this region is pretty thin. You can spend your time to the axis, and then you can move between move the beam between these two positions and check how much your kick pattern is off in the region of interest, and then with them here, you can say this region you bring. If you go move to the same region, the texture pattern move to the left. This means we need to positive alpha 2 to bring the back. Yeah. So here, we want to tilt this region to the axis. we need to do alpha tilting to bring it back. Okay. We go here, further tilting to bring it back. Okay. Now you see we'll tilt this region to the 3 axis. Alright. This is for the same region. But this region is out of the zone axis. I'm going to put it here. It's good for imaging. But this region is same, but at the same time it might have a lot of damage from tape. It's a good region. Let's go there to see how image look like. So this region is pretty same. See, you can tell from click button. Okay, this region is pretty same. It's focusing. Focusing. Okay, let's say okay with that. You can take image. So you see this different contexts. This might caused by the dim damage or contamination. So really, sometimes not same. Center is not the better because you get a lot of pin damage in the same region. This damage is from the flip preparation. So we get a lot we get some iron implantation to the sample. It's not perfectly on zone because it's close. Because this region is pretty small, you can go check. Yeah, it's pretty close. 22. Okay. It's let's say this region is better. And this image is better because we take a different location. Yeah, this region is better. Yeah, just simply it's not. This region is not properly on zone. This is just the region. This region is staying on, but it's got a lot of contamination. Probably I will say for this sample, somewhere around here, it's a better region. It's best region to do imaging. Oops. Okay. So this is how we tilt sample to the zone. So basically, your first the sample maybe you keep turning it off. You might have hard time to find the crossover. In this case, because for example here, you cannot find the crossover because it's way off. If center mouse increase contrast, you feel it's on the right, but it's not. But you cannot say. So you better say you can do two things. You can choose smaller components and go out for high resolution mode. Now you can say a bit. This is a crossover, right? This is a crossover of your pixel pattern. So, or you can just retract TADF. In this way, you can get full view of your pixel pattern. You see your pixel pattern. You can say because over here, you want to tilt to the negative alpha tilting to move to the center, right? See, this is star. It's a star shape. And you go, once it's close, your laser detector from the region of interest, again, then you move around to say if it's close or not. You say this region is close. Probably we can move to that region. We can move to that region, but double click in the imaging. Or you can just use the joystick to move to that region. Okay. And then once it's closed, you can zoom in. And because right now we are 98 million cameras. Go back to 200. V. Now we say keep spreading. It's on the center of the sensor disk. Domain. And we can do 540C. And we can adjust astigmatism. Before that, copy 1 to 2. Okay. And then you can just for imaging in this region. Yeah, this is how it looks like. I think this image is good. And then if you say this is non-uniform context, it's high pass. To remove this non-uniform context. Okay. So yeah, that's how we could assemble to the zone axis. Any more questions?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So let's do a little bit of review what we have done today. Let me share the render. So this is day 2. Okay. We reviewed an element for high resolution STEM imaging at the beginning of this morning. I did a little bit short presentation to introduce you how we tilt the sample to the zone axis. Also, we discussed the effects of the being current galvanized outside of image resolution and also signal damage. So if you use too big spot size, your current is much big, you may get some damage to your sample. But if you use too large spot size, too small spot size, the signal to noise ratio is not that good. That's gonna affect you to get a good image. So it turns out better spot size is spot size 9. The gun length, you should choose the gun length between 3 to 5, which is gonna give you. Because we try different sample, we try 2 samples, tungsten, titanium, and the silicon. On the silicon, we choose with the setting spot size 3 to 5. As with spot size 9, gun length 3 to 5, we can get a spatial resolution down to 140 around 140 picometer. With tungsten, titanium, and definitely we use the same setting, and we are seeing the FFT. For FFT, we can see around 100, maybe 180 picometer resolution, and this also we introduce you how to use the Velox to do application. I use Velox to do some data processing using different filter. We can also use the line processing file to match the license dispensing and the dumbbell dispensing here. So, and then you choose this this like distance measuring file, matching tool to match the spacing. So yeah, so the object learning object for today. So the main targets is to let you know how to understand proton access from picture pattern or detection pattern, and also with the how to do fine tuning based on the record. And of course, another thing effects, spin current, gamma size on the image resolution, and also optimize and analyze data, do some data processing through the Velox software. So, any question about this object?
No.
Okay, great. That's it's indicates you might already know how to. So if you don't, because after some time you might forget some details steps. Because we already record the videos, I will share with you, so you can always look back, take a look at the operation details through the video. Okay. With that, do you have more question?
No. I think all my questions were answered, or at least the ones I could think of for now.
Oh, okay, cool. With that, I would like to end this section. So tomorrow